new one, we're going to verify this trig identity. Cosine of 2 theta divided by 1 plus sine of 2 theta equals cotan of theta minus 1 divided by cotan of theta plus 1. So the first thing we're going to do is substitution. We have cotan. Cotan involves both sine and cosine. So the way I would start to proceed is just to rewrite these with cosine and sine in them. Plus we also have this sine of 2 theta. It also has cosine and sine. So I'm going to use substitution and rewrite cosine of 2 theta as cosine squared of theta minus sine squared of theta. And in the denominator, I just have to write 1 plus and substitute our 2 sine of theta cosine of theta. Now, to simplify this, I am going to expand this. This is difference of squares. So I'm going to expand this as cosine of theta plus sine of theta times cosine of theta minus sine of theta. All right. Now, for the denominator, what we want to do is cancel things out so we can simplify. We can have this form here, the perfect square trinomials. If we write 1 as our identity of sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta, that equals 1. So I just substituted that. Plus we have the 2 sine of theta cosine of theta. Now it has this form. It has the form. If I move this in the middle here, I want to put cosine, so I'm just going to write it. For this I have cosine squared theta plus 2 sine theta cosine theta plus sine squared theta. That's going to equal cosine of theta plus sine of theta squared. I just rearranged it. I wanted cosine first because we have cosine first in the numerator. So remember, cosine theta plus sine squared theta is going to be cosine theta plus sine times cosine theta plus sine. So that's what I'm going to do on the next slide and write this. So what we have is, for the numerator, we'll just copy that down. We have cosine of theta plus sine of theta times cosine of theta minus sine of theta. And then in the denominator, we just had cosine theta plus sine of theta times cosine theta plus sine of theta. So this identity really does, you had to do a little trick in the middle of the proof. This cancels out, and now we're left with this. And our answer should be cotan of theta minus 1 divided by cotan of theta plus 1. This refers back to our original identities you start with. If you have ones here, and it's an identity, then what we can do is divide this sign by sign and get me a 1. And if that's true, then everything else should fall into place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cosine of theta minus sine of theta and divide both of those by sine of theta. And you can see this is going to give you your cotan. Now do the same thing in the denominator. We have cosine. You have to divide everything by sine. So divide everything by sine. This time we have a plus. Now what happens is you get these both equal 1. So this is a 1 and this is a 1. And these both are cotan. This is cotan and this is cotan. So we do get our desired result of cotan of theta minus 1 divided by cotan of theta plus 1. And that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.